welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'll be talking to you guys about my top 5 setting powders. Actually, I have 7 setting powders in front of me. I could not decide in the last 2, so I kind of just left them on the side. But these are the products that I really like. These are the powders that I can count on. I know they're not going to crease. I know they're not going to move all throughout the day. And every powder kind of has its own purpose. They serve different purposes, and that is why you need more than one powder. Starting at number 5, I have this Hourglass Whale Translucent Setting Powder. I really like this powder for a few different reasons, especially if you have dry skin. I feel like this is such a good powder for you because it just provides you that sheen that you're looking for without making it look very oily or making it look very cakey. And I think this is so nice. It is so finely milled that you cannot even tell that this is on your skin. It is one of the best powders for setting your entire face, especially if you're trying to do like that healthy glowing looking skin. I say that quite a bit, but it really, that's what I'm after. So I really am looking for that in every product that I use. And this is one of those products that give me that. Now, this is one of those powders that I will definitely not suggest, baking under your eyes with, because it does have that sheen, like I said. It does make you, glow wherever you apply this. And if you bake it right under your eyes with this powder, I feel like it just makes it look very shiny. And I feel like it just brings the attention to all those things that we don't really want to, like the texture and, our pores and all of that stuff. So that is the reason I don't bake with this. But this is a really good powder to set your entire face, and especially if you have dry skin, like I said, it is so good. Now, moving on to number 4, I have Huda Beauty's Easy Bake Loose Baking and Setting Powder. Now, this powder will make you look like you have no pores. This is so nice. It is one of the best setting powders, especially for baking. This is obviously made for baking. If you want to have that very full coverage under your eyes, you want to look poreless, you want to look super nice, this powder will do that for you. But if you're somebody who's new with makeup, this is probably not a very good powder for you because whenever I bake with it and I spray my setting spray with this, especially the Urban Decay All Nighter, I don't know what it is between the two formulas. They don't mix well together. So now I know whenever I'm using this, I don't use Urban Decay. I use my Max Fix Plus or any other spray, but just not my Urban Decay. I don't know, for whatever reason, this does not go well with the Urban Decay All Nighter. If you are using the Urban Decay All Nighter, spray it on your sponge and then press it. And I feel like that kind of just makes it work with that. And that's the reason I don't recommend this to people who are new with makeup, because if it does crease under your eye or if it messes up your makeup, you're not going to be very happy. So I don't want to recommend it to you if you're new. Now, the second thing about this powder I want to tell you guys is the perfume in it. Now, I personally don't mind the perfume, but if you're somebody who doesn't like perfume, you might not like it as much. But performance wise, this performs really well, especially in the humidity and heat. When I first got this powder, we went to Florida and this was the only powder I took with me. And honestly, it stayed all day. It didn't give me trouble with humidity. It is a really good powder that performs really well. Now, on number 3, I have this Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Setting Powder. And this product is on number 3 because it is due for number 4. I feel like this is such a good copy of the Huda Beauty. It performs just as good. It performs really well, actually. It does everything that Huda Beauty powder does. The only thing with this powder is there's so many shades. You just have to know the right shade. And with this powder, when you apply this, if you don't have the right shade, it will change the color of your foundation. And it could go either way. It could go really light or really dark depending on what color you bought. So you really need to know your color in this powder for it to perform really well for you. In this powder, I have the shade 20, I have the shade 25, 30, and 35. Again, because it has so many colors, and if it's not the right color you're using, is just going to not look as good as it could look. This product will make you look airbrushed if you use just the right amount of it. What I like to do with this powder is when I want that airbrush finish, every step I do in my makeup, I take a little bit of this powder. Now remember, I said little bit of this powder and just, buff it in. And every layer you do that, by the end of your makeup, your skin will look so airbrushed and it looks really nice. And if you've not tried this, you have to try this powder. This is a really good powder. I definitely recommend this to everybody. Just keep in mind, you have to have the right shade of this powder to make it work well with your skin and with your makeup. And moving on to number 2. Number 2, I have this Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Skin Perfecting Micro Powder. Now, this powder only comes in like 3 or 4 shades. I am in the shade to medium. And this powder is really, really good for setting under your eyes, for setting your makeup, touching up your makeup, setting your face. I cannot tell you how good this powder is. And it looks like this. It looks a little lighter than my skin tone, but it is not. But because it is a micro powder, it just goes right in your pores. It fills them up. It gives you really that airbrush feeling. And you probably don't see me using this in a lot of videos. And the reason being is because it is always in my purse, because this is one of those powders I carry with me all the time. This is just such a perfect powder, especially to touch up. And I feel like a lot of powders don't do that, especially during the daytime. If you're trying to set your makeup with a powder, a lot of times it can make you look cakey. It can also look like you're wearing a lot of makeup sometimes, but this powder doesn't do that. So I definitely, definitely like this powder. This is another one of those products that is very expensive because you don't get that much product in here. You get only 0.28 ounces, and this is like $40. I feel like it's a little too expensive for just a setting powder, but I feel like it's so worth it. And I don't use it every day, but it's definitely something that I carry with me to, touch up during the day. Now at number one, of course, we have the Laura Mercier's loose setting powder, and this is a translucent powder. I really like this powder, and I feel like this powder has been staple in my makeup for a very long time. I feel like not only mine, I think a lot of people really love this powder. And I feel like this powder is the one that everybody knows about. It is just so good, and it is one of their best selling powders. And of course, for the right reasons, because it works, and that's all that matters. It's just so perfect to set under your eyes. You can actually set up the rest of your face with this as well, and it doesn't look cakey at all. And it is just so nice. I feel like I have to put this away to not reach for it every single day in my every video. I feel like people are just going to get bored of it. And that's the only reason I don't reach for it in the videos that I don't, because I force myself not to use it. But this is such a good product. It is such a good powder, and it will last you a long time. So go ahead and invest in it. It is a good product. Now, really quickly, I have two more products to share with you. And one of them is this Urban Decay Velvetizer. And this is a translucent mix-in medium. And what this does is you can mix it into your foundation if you have a very liquidy foundation. That's what it's meant to do. A not so full coverage foundation into a full coverage foundation. I've used this. This is another one of those products that is good to carry with you. It is also very finely milled, so you can touch up during the day with this powder. If you have oily skin, this is a really good product for you. You can take a little bit of it right before you apply your foundation, and this will just make your foundation stick a little bit longer. And the other one is this Becca's Hydro Mist Set and Refresh Powder. I just got this in my BoxyCharm a few months ago, and I've tried it since, and I've not put it down since. This is one of those products that if you feel like your faces start to look cakey, or you need a little bit of coverage but you don't want to put foundation, or you've done a whole entire face and you don't know how to fix it, this is the powder that will help you do that. It does have a little bit of weird texture because when you touch it, it feels like you're touching the water, and it does set your face with that. I've actually never messed up my makeup because of this powder, but I do have one friend who told me she used it and she messed up her makeup. Give it a try, just be careful. Do it on a day that you're not going out or you have a special occasion. Don't do it on that day. And just try it out and see what you think about it. And that's it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And I want to say thank you for spending your time with me today. And I will see you next time. Ciao.